everything was hyper, like it was like I can hear the hairs on my arms raise. I can hear what it sounded like for my mom to grab my hand. Like my senses were really, really, really elevated.
Somebody gonna cue me or do I cue myself?
Cue yourself.
Okay. Hey everybody, we're back with another episode of Let's Talk Off Camera, so let's get talking. Albert, let me turn to you for a second.
Yes.
And let me just say that you hosted just a delightful weekend.
Oh, thank you.
And I really appreciate you not just hosting my son, but his friends.
Oh my God, I loved it.
And I want you to know that the twins said, and I quote, "Those were the nicest gay guys I've ever met."
Stop it! I love it. It was the origin of what Sausage Fest was.
This was the original Sausage Fest. Yes,
we brought it back. It was like a one night only.
And I asked Joaquin his favorite moment from the weekend because they had a nice long weekend and his friends were in town, and it was like we took them from event to event. Like Mark and I never leave our house, and we left our house like 5 times in one weekend. Which
you guys were busy.
We were busy. And I said, "What was your favorite moment from the weekend?" Because they were getting ready to leave, and he goes, "It's a tie." He goes, "Getting coffee with Al." Aww. And then the night before at Al's. That was his tie of his favorite.
I really miss him, and I want him to be here in a more permanent way. Because I haven't seen him, and when I do see him, it's like he's in passing or he's going somewhere. And I feel like he's gotten very serious because in college he was very focused. This was like old school Joaquin. He
reminded me of the little, his little self.
Yes.
Yeah. I sent Lola the video, the video I sent you of you guys on the back of the boat and the dog and the whole thing.
Yeah. Tell them what happened with the dog in the back of the boat.
Oh, well, do you want to show them the video? I mean, Albert has a water dog. Albert has a dog that is made for water, basically bred to swim. And Albert, in the grand tradition of making all of his dogs neurotic, is on the back of the boat and has to put an inflatable life vest on his dog with a leash attached.
No, the leash just happens to be on. No, it's a life. It's a water vest for a dog.
For a water dog, it's a water dog. First of all, it's a water vest for a dog.
I've never seen Kelly's phone come out fast enough.
I was like, I have to capture it because if I don't capture it, nobody will know this happens. And people think that, because the first time I met Rufus, your former dog, Rufus was a puppy being walked on the beach in Shelter Island, on the Bay Beach, not the ocean beach. And by puppy, I mean a big dog, a big water dog, just like Freddie. Dog is being walked on the Bay Beach in a life preserver on a leash. And I was like,
it was an extended leash. The dog had some freedom.
I go, what are you afraid is going to happen? I have a Shih Tzu that swims. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to that dog on this here Bay Beach? A crab might get it.
Right. Maybe.
I mean, I just I did not understand. And then when I saw the
Freddie got the vest.
Freddie in the vest. And then you see Freddie, because what would happen is Joaquin would dive into the water and Rufus would dive right in after him.
Right. In the past. Yeah.
Well, Albert has gotten to this dog early and fast because Joaquin dove in and Freddie wanted to dive in, but then was like, "I'm wearing so many contraptions. I don't even know. Like, is this a weighted vest?"
You think he would have went in without the vest?
Yeah, he was like, "Is this a weighted vest? Why am I in a leash? I'm in a leash like I'm supposed to walk somewhere. I'm supposed to try it out." Yeah, I mean that was because he went for it, but then stopped. Like, oh, is this waterproof?
Favorite was when you go on the boat with Mark and Mark drives, it's like you're on one of those like cigarette boats that has to go like 900 miles an hour and you're lifted above water. And
you're on a U-boat going into war.
To go to lunch, which we don't even have a reservation for. There's no rush.
We're going to lunch and Mark is like
full throttle.
You would think that we are headed into combat. And he's like barking orders.
Yes.
He barks orders at us like we are in the military.
Yes.
And it is not relaxing, and nor is it fun.
So what happened this time?
Oh my gosh. We luxuriated. We cruised. My hat never blew off.
Mark, I forbid him to be anywhere near the helm. I drove.
Oh.
We drove at a very reasonable 15 to 20 miles per hour max. It was a very pleasurable day.
It was so pleasant. It was so nice. I couldn't believe we were on a boat because I don't like to go on the boat with Mark.
Well,
I've famously documented over the years. It's just like not a fun experience for me. But going on the boat with Albert is like, I was like, all this boat needed was a new captain.
Okay, our guest
is here. Sit down and shut up, Jan and Albert, because this is big. Today, listeners, I am thrilled to have an icon joining us, the one and only Regina King. Wow. Let me tell you something. This is a woman that lives up to the name. She is my king, 100%. She's an LA girl. She became a Hollywood legend. She is royalty. She captivated audiences for decades and decades as an actress and a critically acclaimed director. From her iconic roles, Albert, I know you watched it as much as I do. 227, Boyz N The Hood. Jan, you know what you left out? Poetic Justice, my favorite of all time. There's so many.
There's
Jerry Maguire, American Crime, 7 Seconds, Watchmen, If Beale Street Can Talk, for which she won the Academy Award, by the way. She has some new projects right now, a movie called Caught Stealing, which is out on August 29th, and a new wine called Me and You, which holds very special meaning to her. So let's get right to it. Regina, you're in London?
I am in London. So it is 11:30 p.m. right now. Oh my gosh,
are you ready for Betty, Freddie?
I am not until I finish talking to you guys.
Oh my gosh, we're going to talk fast. Okay, we're going to talk so fast.
No. Don't talk fast. But just know that if my eyes look tight, it's because I am a little sleepy.
You and me both. We're always on London time here in New York.
Yeah.
Let me just say, we're an off-camera podcast, so our viewers cannot see you. But you have not aged a day in the multi-decades that I have been fangirling over you. I'm not kidding. I don't know. Oh. Maybe it's the Me and You wine. Maybe we need to start drinking that heavily.
Thirsty, very thirsty.
Very thirsty.
Or maybe it's the filters on our
No, that's not a filter.
I just want to just say one thing, though, before we jump in.
Yeah.
I just got tickled inside when you said, you didn't mention Poetic Justice. That's my favorite. And when you said that, I got a flashback like Haley from All My Children.
Yeah.
Poetic Justice would have been her favorite.
Yeah, 100%. I watched it. So I saw it in the theater. I remember when it came out on a Blockbuster Video, and I took the video, I rented it, and then I got charged because I just never returned it because I loved it so much. And, it was back in a day where you couldn't just buy videos. That was not a thing that existed. So I just took it and never returned it because I loved it so much, but particularly, because it was a Janet Jackson,
of course,
breakout role. But I just found you so compelling and such a scene stealer in every scene. It just spoke to me so much. I loved it so much.
And I just really feel like that's that just common space from the role that we were introduced to you. Well, at least I was introduced to you. Just like every scene you were in, you stole the show. And I could not wait. Whenever I was watching All My Children, if it was not an episode, if Haley wasn't in it, I was not as interested. And so I really, when you said that, I was like, that's the same way I feel about her.
It's so funny. If I had known that you were watching All My Children, I would have crapped my pants. So what are you working on in London right now? Can you say?
The love in my life, we have a transatlantic relationship when you're, I don't tend to, we really try to protect our space. So I don't really talk about it much, but so I'm in London often.
Got it. I love it.
Yeah.
My daughter lives there, so I should connect you to.
Wow.
Yeah. I should connect you to if you want to go on a pub crawl with my daughter. That was my.
I might just do that.
Yeah, she's a good connect for sure.
I would so get a kick out of hanging out with her and her showing me the what's what here in London.
Let me tell you something. It's so funny. You get what you get in life, what you put your energy into in your young life. And my daughter is Poetic Justice. Like she is the amalgamation of every character in that film.
I love that.
She truly is.
Well, I need to do that. I feel like I run paths with your family members, and I don't run paths with you. I don't know if Mark told you. I'm like walking down the street in New York, and he's getting his, 5K in or whatever the heck he was doing, and he was like, "Oh,
I know,
Regina."
So I know. He tells me every time, and I get jealous. I get furious because he sees you all the time, and I'm like, I never get a star sighting like that.
I know. I get to see. I know you. Like, you're my girl, and I run into him more than I run into you.
He's in the way. He's cock blocking us, and I don't like it. I, for one, am pissed. So Andy Cohen was on this here podcast, and we had him on for the anniversary of Watch What Happens Live. And I asked him, I said, Andy, do you have a singular moment in all the 15 years you've been hosting Watch What Happens Live that is your absolute favorite moment? And he said it was your episode with Jackée when the two of you got into your cups. Do you remember this? I mean, I remember. We all remember this episode.
Yes, luckily I do remember it. I may have been 2 sheets to the wind, but I wasn't 3 sheets to the wind. I had not fully become the lampshade.
Yeah.
But yes, I remember, you know what I remember the most is that is where I was not really up on social media at the time. And that's where I learned trending.
Right.
And how I learned trending is the next day I was trending. And I was like, I hope trending is a good thing. With please tell me of this trending you speak of.
Right.
And that's how I learned about trending. But I mean, we had a good time. And I think that was probably one of the first times people had the opportunity to see that I'm not like serious all the time, you know? Yep. And I think that's, you know, I try to protect my space and my privacy as much as possible. But I do think that sometimes it's good for people to see that, you know, you are human. You are not just only about the craft.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it was. And what was so great was just, you know, it's so funny. None of us were there, but we all felt like we were there. And we all felt like, you know, I mean, we have had nights, guys. I'm here with my 2 like longest running producers. We've all seen each other on nights like that at Watch What Happens Live. And it's like very joyful when you can be yourself so fully with your girlfriend and like laugh like that.
Yeah. And you know, the thing that was so comfortable about it is, you know, I've known Jackée for so long. You know, she's watched me grow up. I think the first time as a, you know, I'm doing air quotes, celebrity, doing something outside of the show that you were on was with Jackée. She and I did Friday night videos. Do you remember that show?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I've been with you the whole time.
So, you know, there was just like this familiarity off camera as well as on camera that she and I had. And so I think that's why I was so comfortable in that space, you know, because I'd never met Andy before.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh my gosh.
Before that, no, I had not.
And then you literally became like I feel like you're his go-to guest on like New Year's Eve. You're his go-to guest. Like you're the go-to when he wants to really have a good time.
But I mean, he is a good time.
He is the best time.
So he's a good time. You know, he's a good egg.
Yeah, there's good time Charlies. He's the best time Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So do you remember what you were drinking that night?
You know what? Something that I don't drink anymore, vodka.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I do remember.
Yeah. Speaking of drinking, tell me about your new wine. How did you get into this?
So, my new wine it's called Me and You.
Me and You.
And it's spelled MIANU. And it's Ian's name in the middle. And it is wine that's celebrating all things Ian, his love for art, his love for flavor, good taste, his love for making every moment a special moment. And in a time of trying to navigate what this new relationship is with Ian and wanting everyone that did not get blessed with the opportunity to meet Ian to get a little taste of him and to perhaps in that taste create me and you moments for themselves. Yeah. That's the inspiration behind it all. And I never, ever had any desire to go into the wine or spirits industry in any way. Mm-hmm. But Ian introduced me to orange wine 5 or 6 years ago. And it kind of was like this aha moment, like, yep, we're going to make an orange wine, Ian, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's just where it came to be it came about 2 years ago.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel his presence?
I do. And I think that, it's tough because I want him physically. I want to talk to him in the way that we are so used to, talking in our human existence. And so I'm having to learn to really exercise all of that spiritual talk that I've always spoken about, and that's been a part of my foundation. I've had to learn how to, learning how to really recognize it as a conscious, active way of being, opposed to, just speaking about it, being spiritual, connecting spiritually. I guess I've had to really understand that it's not just talking about it; it's living it. So I'm always in this place of finding ways to communicate with me here, still in this human existence, and in the nether regions, activating all the good that he does from the nether regions. If that makes sense.
It's interesting. We just had the psychic medium on our show right before this podcast. Shar Margolis was on. And what's fascinating is she was taking calls, like live calls, and she was reading people. And I was watching her, and she was explaining that the loves that have left, that are departed, are still with you all the time. They are always there. They are not going anywhere. And sometimes for whatever reason, you can't hear them or they can't be heard, but they're there. And sometimes they'll give you big signs, and sometimes it's little tiny signs. But that's the one big takeaway that I got, is that they're always there.
Right.
So it's like it's that thing. It's like, I'm sure it's not as comforting as being able to have a one-on-one, out loud, human body to human body conversation. But knowing that he's everywhere you are, he's with you in London. He was with you on the plane. It's that's a nice thing to know, because, as kids grow up and get big, they can't always be where you are. They always want to go where they want to go. But knowing that when people transcend, that they're always with you, that is, to me, a very comforting thing.
It is. And sometimes, you have those little moments, like you said, that are more obvious and apparent than others. When you have those, you find yourself like searching for the next one, opposed to just allowing yourself to be open to all of the little ones, the big ones, the medium ones, the all of the things, all of the ends. And, sometimes I'm really, really attuned, and I feel like I literally, okay, yeah, that was funny, right, Ian?
Right.
Moments that are just so crystal clear like that. And then I have my moments where I'm just, the whole is just so huge, and I just want to, oh, Ian, where are you? And so I'm, it's a journey, as is life, So yeah, I'm that person that I don't necessarily lean into the psychic. I don't seek psychic help, but I have had moments where it has just come to me. And that's when people have asked me, or have shared with me that they have a psychic or a medium that they would love to gift to me or either just introduce me to. And I've said, well, if I go and seek that and I find something in there, I will be chasing that forever, and then that's not healthy, and so the first couple of times someone had offered that to me, I said, if that psychic moment needs to happen, it's gonna make its way on its own. And I've had that. I've had it make its way on its own in like random, like in Rome.
Yeah.
Like,
wow. See?
It happened in Rome, and like, what the heck, you know? And so I truly believe in I'm just trying to be present. Just
to receive it.
Be present. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So take me back in your early life. You and your sister started out both as actors, yeah?
Yes.
And how old were you? How old were you when you started?
I think, if you would say a first job, was doing background on, I want to say Silver Spoons.
Oh, wow.
Or Different Strokes. One of those is at the same time. And so I may have been like 9 and my sister was 5, and my mother's a teacher. So, and I don't say was a teacher because I don't think that you ever stop being a teacher. Right. And I'm still always learning from her, even as our relationship changes, as, she
gets older,
gets older, and she always felt like the arts were just as big of a part of education as, math or science or history. And so she always embraced anything artistic that my sister and I were interested in. She always found a way for us to experience it. And so we were always taking all different types of classes, from tap dance to interpretive dancing to whatever it was. She'd find, whether it was some program at the park or a acting school, or she always found a way for us to experience these things that were calling us. And the acting was the one thing that both Raina and I stayed in and felt like really comfortable in. And so one of her close friends, still to this day, lived down the street from Todd Bridges' mother, Betty Bridges. Wow. She was outside roller skating while we were outside roller skating. And she saw us and she was, told us about her acting class and whatever. And Raina and I were like, well, we want to go. And that's kind of how it started, us taking acting lessons and doing some of her stage plays at her acting class, and then starting to do background work. And so, that was my first time meeting the boy that was in The Champ. I was like, oh my God, to be able to watch him not be the champ.
Right.
Not be the kid in The Champ.
Now he's something else. He's a whole different person.
Yeah, so that started to really make me look at acting kind of in a different way, opposed to just being entertained.
Right.
But looking at, I like the idea of being able to make people, the same person, make people feel different emotions.
Yeah.
And then I started paying attention to things that I was watching differently after that experience.
Do you think that your mom ever had, like, do you think she would she have made a great actress, do you think?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Do you think that your mom ever had, like, do you think she would she have made a great actress, do you think?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Because I think teachers are actors in some capacity. Like, they've got to stand up and, like, engage their class. They've got to command the room. So I'm wondering if you think there would have been a path for her.
Absolutely not. I think that in the space of being a teacher, she understood it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when it was time to present, but because it was really coming through the specific lens of a teacher and how do I communicate this to children,
right?
You know? And so I think that from that lens, she was always able to perform it, bend it to fit certain kids. You know, my mother was a special ed teacher and also a teacher of the mentally and physically handicapped. So she was, you know, a special type
She's
of
an
patient.
Angel. Yeah, that's a unique teacher. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So her understanding of how to package something for an individual, a lot of people don't possess that. And so from that lens, she absolutely knows how to do that. But if you tell Gloria to do it for a thing,
right? No,
that goes out the door.
Right.
We take photographs. There was this time that we were like, why does mom in every photograph, why is she always looking away, looking off to the left, or, you know,
right.
Her face is turned one way, but her eyes are looking the other way. And then eventually I was like, Mom, why whenever we take a picture, you're never looking at the camera, looking like everyone else is looking at the camera? And she said, because I'm trying to make it a candid picture.
She's acting candid.
Yes, she's acting candid.
That's funny. So. But she was sitting right next to you when you won your Academy Award.
Yes, she was.
Did she, like, you know, Albert, they put all the shots up, the nominees up one at a time. And so is she like clutching you? Is she whispering anything in your ear? Are you talking to each other? Like, are you psychically talking to each other? Is there something going on?
I guess maybe, yes, we were psychically or spiritually or without words talking. Absolutely. You know, my sister and my son, you know, they were in the other seats that they give you that were farther away. And, you know, of course, I wish they could have been right there too, but I would not have made it any other person but my mom. And just, we both took a deep breath.
Yeah.
And we're just like,
yeah.
And it was kind of like, well,
yeah.
Here we go. Here you go. All right, girl, go on. And it was just that, because it's all kind of surreal in the moment. It all, like, everything, I don't know. This might not be I'm just going to say it. So if anyone has ever smoked weed before, the very first time you ever smoke weed, everything is kind of like you're looking through a crystal ball, and everything is kind of hypersensitive.
Yeah.
You know, that very first time. And I think those of us that still continue to smoke weed, you know, you're chasing that first time.
You're chasing the first, Right.
You know, and every now and then you'll get a new strain and you're like, oh, wow, that feels close to the first time or whatever. But there's nothing ever like that first time. And it was almost kind of like that. Like everything was hyper, like it was like I can hear the hairs on my arms raise. I can hear what it sounded like for my mom to grab my hand. Like my senses were really, really, really elevated in that moment. I can fully remember just how sweet it was for Chris to help me up the steps.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember looking at him and it felt not just because he was helping a lady up the steps, but it was almost a moment of him just looking in my eyes and just going, you got it. You it's happening and you got it.
Yeah.
Go on,
Yes.
you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what was interesting, Albert, I don't know if you noticed this, but when they took the camera shot of Regina and her mom, Regina's mom looked away to make it candid.
Regina, did you notice, like, do you feel that camera coming down the aisle and pointing at you? Like, do you know that moment? Was that?
Well, the camera is sitting there waiting to find out who's won. Right. You know, I guess if I think back, I guess maybe I may have been thinking, keep your face straight if you don't win.
Right.
Yeah, don't look salty. Because, like, you know, of course we want to win. You know, no one in that in any of those categories, no one took that role with, at least I believe, with the thought of I'm doing this because I want to win an Academy Award.
Right.
No,
that's
one.
Not what acting is. Right.
But, you know, when you get nominated or when you get part of the conversation, you are like, oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. I'm showing up, you know, for this. And so the last thing I would want anyone to think is that I feel like anyone deserves it less or more. Right. You know, and so we are in a cancel culture right now. And so it's, you know, one little, if I was looking candid like my mom, someone would have said it was an eye roll.
That's right. That's correct.
Yep. You know, so I think I had that moment, like, keep your freaking face straight.
Don't make any sudden moves.
Yeah.
Don't let disappointment register in any way.
Don't let disappointment register in any way. This is the time that all that you learn to do as an actor, girl, this is the time that you use it.
Yeah,
and then they say your name.
And you're like, what?
And that's when it all goes into the hypersensitive. It all goes into, whoa, you know? And then I just remember, like, coming for Maya.
Jan, where's my phone? Jan sent me your full list of roles. Look at this, Albert.
Oh my God. It's like a scroll.
It's an entire scroll.
I don't even know if it's everything. It's so much.
This is just some of what you've done. So of all of your roles, is there one that resonates with you the most?
I don't think so. I think that all of them have really special meaning because they also, you know, took place at certain times in my life, you know, so it's not always just about the role. It's also about what was going on in your life when you were playing that character, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say that some stand out more than others, you know. I think, like, Jerry Maguire is a standout because, you know, I just had become a mom and I had auditioned for it while I was pregnant. You know, I think that Boyz N The Hood was a huge standout for me because after I'd finished 227, I could not, like, book a role in anything. Like, and it wasn't like couldn't book a role because I didn't get the part. I just, like, couldn't even book an audition, you know? And so luckily, John Singleton brought me in to audition for Boyz N The Hood. Just, I guess they believed in giving somebody a shot. And, so that was really big, because that was like, someone's giving me an opportunity to show that I was just playing Brenda. That was just a role. Like, I am so much more than Brenda from 227.
Yep. Boyz N The Hood was another movie. Okay. You're going to love this. I'm sure I've told you this in the past when you've been on the show, but Michael Knight, who played Tad on All My Children, Michael Knight had a treadmill in his dressing room, and he never used it. So I would go on his treadmill, and he had a TV with a VCR, and I would pop in Boyz N The Hood, and I would run and watch the movie. And that's how I would spend my lunch break. Do you remember, after Boyz N The Hood came out, was that like a shift? Was that like a pivotal moment? Or would you say there were was there more than one pivotal moment?
I would say that there was more than one pivotal moment, but that was definitely a significant pivotal moment in my life and in my career.
Yeah.
That Boyz N The Hood marked my departure from TV and my introduction to film. Uh-huh. And so where I was only known for television, Boyz N The Hood was the beginning of what was about to be 15 years of only being known for film.
What was it like working with John Singleton? Like,
I mean,
did that instill in you like a want to direct? Did you want to be a filmmaker from that experience?
1,000,000%. Uh-huh. And I'll tell you why. I did not realize that it was happening. And I would say that John saw something in me that I had not seen in myself. And perhaps that's the reason why he opened his, just his experience as a director to me so much. He would call me over and say, do you want to come watch films? Right. Do you want to read this script that I had written? I still have a script that he wrote and that he never did do. And like, there's this part of me, and I just was in my office and I found it the other day, and I had this emotional moment, and I was like, I need to reach out to his daughter, Justice, who's a writer director as well. Like, what is does she have a desire to,
make the film,
perhaps direct, the film. Yeah. Like I did not know how much I was learning by being in John's presence, by him creating a space for me to be in his presence outside of the set.
Yeah.
And so, you have so many people, so many actresses that have the unfortunate experience of the casting couch and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I did not have that with John. Mm-hmm. And here it is, this writer, director that's sharing with me all of the behind the scenes things if I want to experience them. And for whatever reason, I did want to. And at that time, I was not thinking about being a director. I was just like, just the curiosity, just the being a person that likes to learn. Was like, yeah, sure. Every time he would call, yeah, sure. And meeting his friends, his other film friends from USC, it was like, oh yeah, it's sure. Because at that time, when I got cast in Boyz N The Hood, I think that was part of what made John say, oh yeah, bring her in, because we were both at USC at the same time.
Yeah, wow. And also, don't you think though, he was such a good visionary that he saw it before you knew what it was. He saw it.
No, I don't doubt that, Kelly, at all. Yeah. Like I believe that 1,000%. When you look at all of John's films and you look at his casting, he saw in people what they didn't see in themselves. And he saw that that's what's going to take these words, these wonderful words that I've put on this paper. This is what's going to bring them to life. They don't know it, but like how did he see Tupac?
Yeah.
Right. Like, how did he see Q-Tip as the boyfriend in the beginning? How did he see Brenda from 227, drinking a 40 and talking shit, So he would see us in a way that we had never imagined ourselves. I had that same experience, and I think James Samuel is similar in that way of just being the visionary in the ability to see people in spaces that they would never even see themselves, in characters that they would never even see themselves.
Is there an actor or a particular performer that you really enjoy collaborating with, where you say to yourself, oh my God, I could work with person X forever?
I mean, I think that there's a few that I have not worked with that I would love to work with forever, and because I know them outside of
who? Like who? Give me a list.
Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah. You've never worked with Don Cheadle?
No.
I feel like the two of you are in every film. How is this possible? How has it not happened?
I know. How has the world been deprived of that?
So true.
Thing. But of people that I've worked with, Carrie Coon.
Oh yeah, Carrie Coon's fab. Yep.
Yeah. That I would, just. Oh, yeah, she's in it. Okay, let's go.
Now that you're a director, do you find that other directors, like, do they treat you differently? Like, do they treat you more like a director-actor than an actor? Do you know what I mean?
I think that they are relieved. I think other directors are relieved when they're working with a director-actor because they know that we understand
what they're looking for.
What they're looking for and the process that they have gone through to get to the moment that we are in right now.
Right.
So, as an actor, that's a director. When you come from a project where you because I've had the beauty once I started directing from going from directing something and then I'll act and then I'll direct and then I'll act. And it's been a great way to just shed the last project. And so when I come to the thing that I'm acting in, I just, finished a film with Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah. And
he's just like, oh, the beauty of just an actor saying, okay, just tell me where you want me.
Yeah. You don't miss your mark. You don't drift off. You don't drift out of your lighting. You do it the same way for every take. Yeah. And did you love Aronofsky? I think he's a genius too. I think he's a real artist.
He absolutely is. And so, I came to this film as a fan and just as, there was interest in me coming in to play this role.
It's called Caught Stealing.
Caught Stealing, yes. And in the book, the role was actually a man. And so when they turned it into a screenplay, they made the role a woman. Good for them.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a place in my life that I am not interested in working with people that I don't feel like that is going to be harmonious, that I feel like I am going to come out on the other side. If don't feel like I'm going to come out and I haven't learned something, then I'm not really interested in that time. I'm 54 years old. I don't need an experience just for the sake of working. I've been, pretty good with my money. And so I don't need to just only be doing something for the money, and I don't need to only be doing something for the fame.
Tell us about the movie Caught Stealing, because that comes out August 29th. So Zoe Kravitz is in the film, Austin Butler, Liev Schreiber, Bad Bunny, who incidentally stepped on and crushed my foot on the dance floor New Year's Eve 2 years ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was very exciting. Very, very exciting. It was the most exciting New Year's Eve I've ever had. He didn't mean to do it, but I was like, ooh, I gotta get off the dance floor.
Yeah.
He's a heavy-footed person, that Bad Bunny.
That Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Firstly, sorry that happened to your foot.
No, my foot was honored. It still is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you're better than me for receiving it that way. Yeah. But no, that's the thing that makes this film so particularly special, is because if those people that are true Aronofsky fans, they will see that trailer and look at that lineup and know that, oh, this is him stepping outside of what we would call the Aronofsky wheelhouse.
Right.
And for me, that excites me. Yeah. That's what attracted me to it. That, oh, you're doing something outside of your comfort zone? Okay, I want to come and meet and talk to you. Like, that is what drew me in. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know that it would have been as interesting to me, this same story with another director. The fact that it was this story with a director that's not known for doing this type of story was so exciting to me.
When Aronofsky calls you, like, does he go through your agent? Is there some secret directory like that the Academy keeps so you can all contact each other? Like, how does it work?
Like DGA.
Yeah, how does that, is that he goes director to director?
He went directly through the agent. He did everything, on the exactly how. Yeah, on the up and up. Yeah. Darren respects, this art form. Like, we can call the directing, acting, DPing, production designing. We can qualify each of those things as individual art forms, but we can also qualify filmmaking as an art form.
It sure is.
And so and he respects it.
Well, it shows in his work.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see it. This is going to be, I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited. Regina, thank you for doing our podcast.
Oh,
all the way from London, where it's now, midnight 30? Midnight 30. Oh my gosh, get some rest. Don't forget to pick up, listeners, Regina's new wine, Me and You. It's available for purchase at www.meandyouwines.com, Jan. Write it down.
Yes.
And don't forget to follow along on Instagram at Me and You Wines. Also, don't forget Regina's movie, Caught Stealing, is out August 29th. Thank you so much, honey. It's so great to see you.
Thank you. So good to see you, too.
And now, I guess they say cheerio.
Cheerio,
darling.
But maybe 2025 is our year.
It's our year. It's our year, darling.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Guys, come on.
The best.
How good was that?
She's like a real legend.
She really is.
She really is. Amazing.
Have you ever seen Poetic Justice?
I haven't. I don't know that I've seen Poetic Justice. I saw Boyz N
The Hood. I've seen 6,000 times. Literally every time I ran on Michael Knight's treadmill.
I loved her. I know it was like a small role, but Jerry Maguire. She
steals every scene. She steals every scene she's in. But watch Poetic Justice. She's so freaking good that I was like, wait a minute, what? Because the character she plays is so specific and she's so good.
Okay, I'm watching it. It's my homework.
Yeah, that is your homework. And you know what, everybody, all you listeners at home, do you know what your homework is? Don't forget to download, rate, and review this episode. 5 stars are mandatory. Don't forget to tell your friends, family, parents, and children about us. Otherwise, Jen gets very upset. She gets bitchy.
Very, very mad.
She gets bitchy and wild.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And we can't wait to talk with you all off camera next week. Bye. Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa is a production of Melojo Productions. From Melojo, our team is Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos, Albert Bianchini, Jan Chalet, Seth Bronquist, Ross Therian, Devin Schneider, Michael Halprin, Julia Desch, and Team Radio Andy, Lisa Mantaneo, Scott Marlowe, Jake Getz.